Okay, there we go. Some of my visual aids. I have a cruise book, which is basically a yearbook. I have a high school yearbook here someplace. But I have a cruise book. It's from a military deployment. Well, faces, names, places, stuff that was classified, declassified enough to put in a book and give to us. I don't know where it is right now. It's like the confusion over Navy and Army. See, at one point the Army had so few people that they need the Navy to kind of step in and put boots on ground for them. Remember, we used to have MWR facilities, and one of the big things was reading to your kids. And so they had a booth where guys could go in. It was Father's Day, and mostly men were deployed to places I was. So they'd go in, they'd read books to their kids, and then it'd be put on DVD and then mail them home. And so then the kids could put the DVD in. There's Daddy reading them a bedtime story. Very cute things. And, well, since then, the stability of military families, it's just hard. We have what's called domestic abuse issues. I've had uniformed superiors, mostly, departments, come and tell me the things that they were dealing with. It's hard. You know, the military people, we can get temper problems. And so I don't know what the divorce rate is. I used to be stashed at a place and do DEERS. I forget what the acronym stands for. It's basically a big system that they use to give ID cards to military people and government people and their families. has our families in there, their dependents. And I remember quite vividly, woman comes in, she's getting a new ID card because now she's getting a divorced ID card. And she was having a very, very emotional day. In the military accounting system, if you're married to a veteran, if you're married to someone for 10 years, you're qualified to get some of their retirement pay as alimony. Oh, she was looking at me. She's like, "You want to do this for a living? You want to make a career of this? If you stay in the Navy, you'll be a stranger. You'll be a stranger to your kids. They'll resent you. You'll be a stranger to your family. Your kids will resent you. Your wife will hate you. All this stuff, right? Because how long can Daddy be gone? How long can Daddy be gone having adventures all over the world?" So, because it's, even though I have very few subs, no viewers right now, except for the emergency like data control, freaking clusterfuck PR system they have. Oh, one of the best jobs, it was the video people. You know, there's a branch of the military, the army and stuff that says basically makes videos. It's like, I haven't checked Vet TV out for a while. There are a lot of veterans trying to get other jobs. I've sat around and I did a E3 enlisted like third. That's a pay scale. When I was in E3 straight out of boot camp, I had a more luxurious, prosperous lifestyle or mentally than I do now. See, I'm living off of savings. I mean, you're gone for a decade, not spending and shopping and malls and stuff. It's actually quite easy to accumulate money. I've come back and I'm like, what is this? I went to the theater last 2 nights ago. Wonderful. It's eclectic. There's skit shows, dancing. Yeah. It was fun. It was a fun time. Yet the walk back at night. Oh my goodness. How quickly are Pacific Palisades out of the news? So we're getting a huge influx of internal refugees. Not the refugees you see on the news where where people are like they're disheveled and they're coming from other countries. No, they're coming from like 500 miles away. Somebody's entire neighborhood burns down. Where are they going to go? They're going to go someplace cheap. This used to be a very inexpensive place as far as to live at. Maybe it's not as fun and the dining options aren't as much, but the people who are living here really can't afford to go out every night and socialize like the LA crowd can. And oh yes, back to Ruby. Saw Ruby. Devin found Ruby for us. Never come across Ruby. I was watching one of the YouTube streamers. And this is back before the rise of live streaming. Yesterday, did I even live stream? Did I live stream at all yesterday? Well, I also have a Twitch channel and Trovo and some. I've been narrowing down my usage. So instead of watching live streams, and I have like a little on device, which is basically like the Roku type of thing, where I get apps on my television. And I know some television have the apps built in, but so I got that. So I'm looking through streaming. I'm usually going back and forth between watching a YouTube or Twitch, and well, Twitch is all live streaming. Sometimes they'll say a replay, but they might rent server space or video space. So YouTube live streams. They show people. I was on YouTube more and more, but I was watching a documentary here, a short 15-minute. I haven't watched Professor Rock forever. Well, not forever, not literally forever. It's been about a year. You get into the history guy. they do these things to produce things, pre-produced and educational. And the live stream just became quite a well. Some of the educational videos, well, they would get strikes. You watch these things and they get pulled. The people, COVID disinformation. Remember the little pop up? This video may contain COVID disinformation and stuff. And here's the facts on COVID. Vaccines, no vaccines. I have a huge vaccine record. That's all they do. That's all we do in the military. Well, not all they do. However, there's special circumstances that coincided with not only the vaccine, but just the way we felt towards each other, and who's giving the vaccines, and who our leadership is, and who gets promotions. It's like other jobs. You get promoted, get more money, get a bigger house, get a nicer car, or in some people's cases, get a car. So my father passed away, according to his ex-wife, not my biological mother, my stepmother for a brief period of time. It's really hard to call her my stepmother since I was an adult away at the time when they got married. So I have two younger step siblings and two younger brothers. I wonder how they're doing. See, this is the nice thing about the social media. I can say, has anybody seen my stepsister Christy? The dynamics in our family. She disappeared up to up the Portland street punk rock scene years ago. Couldn't afford to take care of her daughter. My step niece her niece is her baby daddy has custody, and she'd call up randomly screaming on their phone how much she hated her mother and stuff. And I didn't hear it. I just know the dynamics of the family. The family seen Christy. You know, I have bank accounts I need to assign to somebody in the event of my passing. Oh, there are a lot of people I worked with. Did you know I made like $1 million on Doge? I didn't actualize it all. I was using these trading strategies because a lot of us were doing the investing thing so that we could leave someday war. But I guess once you go to war, you just can't go like, okay, war over, we're going home now. Oh, yes. Yes, and Devin Stack, he got me on that Ruby. So, I'm taking it slow. I've been going to church. Like, one of the things that I did when I landed in this small little town, this small little sweet, quiet town, I started going to church or temple. I just try to reconnect family. It seems like people would want the prodigal son home. That's a big thing, the prodigal son returning home. So I was in a wheelchair, and I would go up to the LDS temple, and it was very friendly people. Situations changed, and I needed a ride, and the elders, the missionaries, they really don't like talking to me. They used to bring my stepbrother pizza. They would always be recruiting my stepbrother. Now they would sit and they're like, "Can we win your soul, Johnny?" So I didn't have a ride up the street, not motivated enough to make that walk. So I go to Baptist around the corner. It's kind of everybody's welcome. I made fun of startup churches, but sometimes, for those people who don't have any family, like that was a thing. The LDS temple's more families go. And down at the Baptist, well, if nobody's willing to let you talk into your homes, it's full of just, we'll have a church family now. My church family is boating today, so I don't have to go to services. They're going to be boating and doing at the lake services. So here I am with a free Sunday. So I've read like one thing that my the pastor's his Bible study, and one of the things he was talking about reading the Bible and studying it. And so he said chapter 4 is the first book written according to his research and stuff. That book of Job was actually written before Genesis. Kind of like how Star Wars A New Hope, which was just Star Wars, and then they made a prequel. People were like, well, how did we get to the events of Star Wars, of Luke Skywalker, and being raised and hidden on Tatooine, and in Darth Vader, and all what happened before that? And so they made the prequels. It's the Book of Job. Well, you know. And then so I read Book of Job, and it was just at my age, it was like, wow. Well, when you put away the waiting for Jesus to come, like feed everybody and raise and just like make all like heal people with their infirmities and body affliction and crippling diseases. Instead of waiting for him and all the magic and stuff, I was reading it with just, oh my goodness, Job. Very prosperous man. Oh, very prosperous. And then one day, now because I'm talking about my family, I was like, Job has 7 sons and 3 daughters. I'm trying to base on memory of what I read, right? Because it's like we hear, Job lost his farm, he lost his family, but he still loved God. That's kind of like the Sunday school from when I was a little kid, and the condensed summary of everything. And so reading it, and he has conversations. He has 3 friends that they've come to explain, patter back and forth, with Job, a bad man. And so it was Eliphaz, the Temanite, like Zohar, yeah, I can't remember all the friends, but he had 3. Oh, and then they had a 4th person, Elihu, like he was a younger person who showed up at the end of the philosophical debates between Job and these other 3 people. So that's what I got out of Book of Job. I got more than that, but right now I want to go catch up to where I'm currently at, because this is big, and this is where I'm at. And boy, oh boy, it's like an all-day study session. I was actually be studying this thing. What is doing? It's a light discoloration. I was like what is on my beard? So yeah, just documenting, because they'll drop. And it's one of the reasons why Christians, Tim, don't really spend a whole lot. The Old Testament doesn't really apply, because Jesus came along, and there's a lot of good quotes in the New Testament. So we love the Gospels and the epistles and stuff, or the Acts. These other ones at the end that Paul is writing. So people say people. So this is basically part of the Bible that we focus on. But it's going New Testament time. Can't really talk about Israel and Palestine. Well, Palestine in here? The Philistines are. Philistines are definitely in here. And who are they? I guess we have to study them. So, let's finish chapter 34, and let me see if I can remember. Jacob, who's the son of Isaac, who's the son of Abraham. And Abraham... My goodness, there was the flood. Noah had 3 sons, and they had 3 wives. There were 8 people. So the sons gave birth to the heads of other clans and tribes. Let's use the term tribe, right? Yes. Well, the term clan's in here. Well, clan is, I don't know how, what, 150 people? It's just a family. It just means like a dude and his, anyway. Probably could be corrected on that. Different definitions. But yes, the sons had children, and then the children had children, and then some lines went this way, some lines went that way, and we're trying to stick on the Abraham line. So anyway, so Jacob is gone to a new region. I don't remember the name of it. There are people living in the area. There's a dude named Sekchecheb, who is the son of like Harbin, Horeb. I don't know. Anyway, he's a prince, and he likes. Is it Dinah? Well, anyway, the prince really likes Dinah. He gets her alone and he violates her. It says he violates her. I think that means he just takes a liking to her. And they go to Jacob and apologize, and they're like, can we have your daughter in marriage? And then we'll all get along, we can combine and be a power union. Jacob seemed to be okay with it. You know, there were some conditions. Well, Jacob's sons, Dinah's brothers weren't okay with it. And so you read about this thing that Jacob takes Dinah, he doesn't ask the father permission, doesn't even bother meeting the family. And so he's decided he gets to have her. And Jacob's sons go and slaughter this entire other tribe of people and take all their sheep and possessions and stuff for the R-wording their sister. That's my Cliff Note summary of it, from what I understand. So I ended off on chapter 34. I suppose a lot of this is this book of traveling. You know, we aren't even at Moses leading the exile out of Egypt. A lot of traveling and looking for new homes and good land, and running into other people who already have that land. It's being homeless and trying to build yourself from the ground up is hard. I had a group of youths out here the other day cleaning up the yard, getting it ready to list on the market. And I was like, yeah, a lot of houses are going on a market. I suppose some of the Palisades people, because they were millionaires, like, you see the price of their homes. I assume they probably have extra money. Like, even $1 million out here. Like freaking 2 years ago, I would have bought this house, but I've been ground into the dust. I've been attacked many times, street attacked. I guess people want me back at work, or I'm a traitor or something. That's why I use my name as it appears on my driver's license. I was one of the last ones out, so I really didn't get established in a new career. And the people established in their new careers, I don't think they want to deploy. I think a lot of my fellow comic gate people, they don't want to deploy. This makes it look fun, though. See, this is one of the things that my dad would have grown up on. Just the army life. Sad Sack and Sarge. Is this one the Sad Sacks? Oh, beats me. Yeah. I'm not gonna read along. If I had a camera set up where it's over my shoulder, I probably would. Oh, look, in this one, Sarge is like a superhero. What did I title? Oh, Small Town Life. Yes. Yeah. So during the court events of the past, since 2019, oh yeah, it was like March 2020. I was all set to go on vacation and see family and stuff, and then they canceled tickets and everybody got locked down and so my vacation was canceled. I didn't get to see my family. And when I came back, when I finally got like brief travel restrictions lifted, and I was just sitting around in a hotel room and then maybe spending an hour flying 3,000 miles or maybe more. Is it 6,000? I just traveling halfway around the world. Oh yeah, dude, all that to have like a 1 hour coffee date. Very generous. I think my family, but I think our families. See, I go around the road. I'm like, hey, were you a CB? Were you a Naval Mobile Construction Battalion dude who was like middle aged? They're older than me. First time I went out there were people out there who that was a blessing. They were like 50-year-old dudes who lost jobs at steel mills and stuff, and well, they were on hard times out in Pennsylvania. I was a young guy. I think there were like I don't know how many people below the age of 30 were out there. I think there were like a couple younger than me, but I was young. I was only 28 years old. Did I turn 34 or 29 during deployment? Probably. It's a long time. That was 2004. Yeah, I must have. Oh, I wonder where they went. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. About a year later, not even a year later, like 6 months later, I'm driving around my city because I'm on the West Coast. I was pulled. I wasn't actually an official member of this battalion or brigade. I was actually pulled on loan from another one, and so I went back to California. And they went to the East Coast. However, I started seeing about because we have desert uniforms. It's not really normal Navy clothes, but I started seeing these dudes in desert camos sitting on the side of the road with like signs and stuff like Vietnam veterans. Oh, growing up, it was very common. It was very common to see the dudes just hanging out in their freaking green camo, just on the side of this begging and wheelchairs and stuff. You're like, oh, they must have been the loser military because you watch television, you see that patriotic, pull out their, oh, I'm a National Guard protecting this country. Very rarely do you see any more Norman Schwarzkopfs or Colin Powells. In the early 90s, 1991, these guys were on television constantly. Oh, the leadership. Well, then again, I have newspapers from the 40s, and generals and the people, they used to command a lot of press. Oh, there used to command a lot of press. Well, I guess that's a national crisis. And right now, we don't have any national crisis to unite us. See, it was a nice little small quiet town. Oh yes, during lockdown, during a time of lockdown, workload got lighter. So just watching movies on your office computer, is that okay or not? Well, it depends what the policy is. On your personal computer, next to the work computer, it depends what the policy is. So where I work, yeah, because otherwise, what would we do? My job, at different times, I was a different thing. But I'll relate it to IT help desk work, where you sit around and you wait for somebody to call, and you go, "Hello? Oh, it's frozen. Okay. Did you turn it on off? Did you turn it on off? Okay. Well, turn it off, and then turn it back on. Okay, and call me back." That was my job. And so while I'm waiting, watch videos. Oh, Netflix. See, it's one of the things about screen subscriptions. When you have a paycheck and you have a good paycheck, a lot of bills like entertainment. That's a good deal. Do people turn Netflix on their vast library and go and watch movies? Oh, I remember what got me into the streaming was the TV series. The movies they had on Netflix a decade ago or so, but the TV series, I watched a lot of stuff I grew up on. Cheers. I don't know. They had some Friends. I haven't been on there for a long time, and they had their original stuff. Well, I think Netflix was what Schitt's Creek was on. And there was a time, because the Twitter politics and Twitter just time consumer. During lockdown, a nice thing was you would see what other people in lockdown were watching. To be like, oh, what's on Twitter? Oh, what's on? And then you'd see, because what people on Twitter were talking about, people would check out, other people on Twitter would check out the trend list. And Schitt's Creek was one of those very endearing, just a friendly show. It's a former like hotel magnate dude, the Rose family, is his wife and 2 kids. And apparently he's been his hotel empire's collapsed. He's kind of on hard times, and he invests in a little roadside motel out in Schitt's Creek. Big city, life of the big city, cosmopolitan, formerly rich. The daughter has her gowns, and they've just been rich. And now all of a sudden they're in this little boring podunk town. It was a cute little series. So yesterday, for my mental health, I watched. I was, because I only have Prime left, and I was going through Prime. I canceled Netflix. And political reasons, not so much. A lot of people were trying to do boycotts and stuff. It's just a time and attention type of thing. See, one of the things as I go around and I take account of the number of old, broken veterans, I'm like, what's your benefits from VA? Are you getting bad? Do you even know who you are? I kind of suspect that they replaced us. I kind of suspect that some of us were replaced. I'd read about this in like some news articles. They're talking about how many people need help from the government, and one of the things you're talking about, they're like these some military dudes who were do they even deserve those insurrectionists? If you're a military veteran, you marched on the Capitol, do you even deserve your pension? You know, there's starving people who could use that money. So I really do believe that we've had the beginnings, a quiet civil war, a quiet struggle for power, to one that's getting very loud. Oh boy. Where is it? I have some external hard drives around here someplace. It has picture shows. Yeah, this small town is filling up fast. Maybe tourists are coming, more tourists than have been here before. Well, the international tourism, some members of my family would vacation in Hawaii every year, every other year, a couple times a year. I guess it depends how much money they have to spend on their whatever. Yes, that's an expensive vacation. But now you can cut back and vacation in your own country. Especially if people around the world don't seem to, they want to come. Apparently they still want Americans. Who wants to leave and go live in a foreign country? It's nice to be able to speak to people in the same language. Less fights that way. Or there are more fights. Yeah, oh my goodness. I wonder how many people, whether retired people on the little pensions, are being forced out of their houses because the landlord sees that there are rich people moving in. Hey, that's just capitalism. Well, that's also other things also. But mostly, as long as they can do the pretense of economic transaction, digital currencies on bank account screens, that's ownership. and I don't have any plans on giving Brandon anything. It's like, well, the number of homes that are actually owned by corporations by the thousands, tens of thousands. Did you know in 2023, investment firm called BlackRock was, according to one Google search, was kind of up to 44% of all home purchases. Like 44% of all home purchases 2 years ago was by some dude sitting in a BlackRock office just buying everything that's listed online with billions and billions and billions of investment capital. I don't think I can compete with that. And then again, there's Google. Remember, there's a time when people like look up celebrities. How much is this celebrity worth? It'd be like their estimated value is $2.5 to $4.5 million. Like, oh, wow, you could look up somebody's name on Google and tell you how much money they have. Wow. Hey, you can rob us. You have $4 million, so we do a little embezzling. Just think of it as Robin Hood. So somebody hacks $100,000 out of your account. You still have like 4.4 million. Look at Google. You can't afford to be robbed. Now they're getting upset. There's this dude. There's a dude that is most famous for calling the N-word in his DMs. He was having mental breakdowns, like doing terroristic threats on Facebook and everything. But I understand very well. He was like screaming, "This is Facebook. Everybody's just scamming everybody. Everybody's just scamming and robbing everybody. Goodbye San Diego home. Goodbye family. Oh, life of a contractor. There ain't nobody too good to have Jody move in with their wives and cash out the joint accounts and take out 3 loans on the house and like go away with the family and everything. Come back, your house is in foreclosure, your money's gone. People hate you because your kids have testified, your wife and kids have testified to all the things you did, that you're a monster. People are going out, "Hey, you did to those kids." That's what I'm getting. Oh my goodness, I bumped into a guy who lost his son in the war. I felt so bad. He wears his son's dog tags and stuff. But he didn't look like that a-hole from Fayetteville who would like him and his son, because my goodness. The contracts are contracts. If you got time during the day, go work out at the gym. That's one of the great things. Like, us other contractors and military people, when you got nothing to do, you can go have fun. You go hang out at the mall during the middle of the day. Take your son. You go to the gym. You can just go cruising around for chicks. That's been a lot of people's lives. Not a whole lot, but they're getting angry when the eye of the auditors start what do you wait? So you get paid to train FSRs. FSRs like Kevin and Ted. When was the last time you had FSR? Okay, so you guys, all right, we have to get another deployment ready. There's a whole section of the economy. Well, I don't have the numbers. I've heard 90% of the military job is just to provide for the 10% that go. It's like the same 10% of the military. Everybody else on the bases with the expense accounts, they all exist to help us get our asses out to some deserts, other places. Just, oh my goodness. To think that only 10% of us have been doing the work since 9/11. And now we want time off. Well, there's 90% other people who can go. But like my 2004 deployment, 2004, those old men. Well, apparently they had newer reservists who, they had hardship waivers. They went, if I recall, we went at about half manning. Means the office in my position, there were 2 of us. I think it was slated for a shift of 5 people. And so the 2 of us who were handling the job. Not only were doing the job of people 2 pay grades above us, we were doing the job for people who were supposed to be have more seniority experience. Not only were we doing the jobs in say a place of people two great pay grades above us, the assistants who would have been there, we didn't have any. It's hard when you don't have the required number of people. Oh my goodness. See, that's probably the mistake of going, because stuff happens. You know, you don't have enough people to put on watch. Something gets stolen, via security violations. You know, which oh man, would it have been different if we had gone with the full contingent? But those of us who went. And in 2008, that was a voluntary one. In 2004, I got a phone call said because of my contract, I was going. I'm like, okay. 2008, it was they had these things because the Army didn't have enough people. And you're like, hey, Navy guys, anybody want to go do an Army deployment? Like a position for the Army? It wasn't front-facing combat. It was basically doing the 90% job that's there to. Well, we had arrivals. Did we inspect arrivals? No, it was more shipping back. We were inspecting cargo. Got a little customs training and stuff. It's a good experience. It's a good experience. We got like an Army type of experience as Navy people. Those are extent of my active duty deployments in the war. Then after that, I heard about the contracting world and. Suppose my reserve unit probably has me like in like some AWOL, like missing action AWOL. He doesn't come back to reserve center. Well, let me explain. Let me talk about the disintegration. See, in between that time, in 2011, when I got a last minute like offer for contracting, and just said, hey, I'm not showing up this week. I'm going overseas for a job so I can afford to live, because I was living in a studio apartment with prospects. I could have gone to work at the court. I'm sure my court was like, they're waiting for me to come back from like the 2008 one, the customs. I had a job at the courthouse. It was nice, but my living situation was what you could call stressful. You could call the living with family situation stressful. A homeless brother, an officially homeless brother, all the manifestations of schizophrenia and drug addiction. Another one who's like quasi-homeless. He had a job that paid more than I got paid. That's my younger brother. He's always, if you ever meet him, he's all put on. And yet he had a job that he had twice as much money as I made. But I'm the one carrying. Well, we shouldn't have family disputes on here. Still, yeah, it's like when somebody hasn't deployed, when somebody hasn't spent what seems like decades of their life deployed overseas to send money back home, the people who stay back home can actually put roots down, make connections, and yo man, you know he's killing babies over there. I'm nothing like him. Man, that's kind of people go to the military and kill little brown babies. Racists do. Oh man, he's such a bad person, and he beat me up when I was a little kid. He stole my Star Wars toy. He would hog up the computer. He's a bad man. Well, my other brother, he's like crippled. He got run over by a car. Actually, I think he was attempted murder based on stories. Like that make this so much fun. And pretend that people aren't being targeted daily by gangs and shit. See, I think a lot of people fled the cities after all the... Oh my goodness. What is it really like? What's it really like, Austin? See, there's a YouTube channel that... Well, the live stream, what really made live streaming great is watching protesters, watching the Trump protesters. Was it Trump protesters, Trayvon Martin protesters, George Floyd protesters? There are so many things in the news. They just get to the street and get active. We're gonna go get justice for that person. See, it was hard. There's probably some anarcho filmmakers who just do guerrilla filming on the street about like licensing and stuff. They're making videos. Apparently, if you go to Mexico, you can go to flea markets and get like cartel produced videos of executing people. I've heard about people beheaded on YouTube. I am not interested in looking at it because before YouTube, there was the market. Yeah, there was a time when I was just things were bad. I was trying to have a relationship, and well, my brother, one of my younger brothers, he's like living at he's living at the river. Did I get him an apartment? Yeah, I got him an apartment after that. But anyway, he was on his we'd meet him at Starbucks, give him like money to buy smokes and stuff. We tried to take care of him, just living when he came. I didn't have a place. I was living in hotel rooms. Why didn't I have my brother living in the hotel room with me? I don't know. Would you like to meet Drew? Yeah, confined in a space. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, Adam, not Drew. He gets on his knees and he makes it very public. People are looking. I'm begging you. I have a list of like the help he's gotten over the years, and it just. Well, you can be backseat drivers and criticize. Oh yeah, he got run over by a yellow cab, but that time he didn't get crippled. He has a story. He's walking, Mr. Crawl. Well, I have some high school people who invested and stayed in that community, opened comedy shops and stuff. And so it happened in front of not Laughs Unlimited, or is it the Comedy Spot? What is that one that was on the corner of K and 20th? It's right around Faces. And with the Badlands, oh yeah, the night security cop got run over or something. Oh my goodness. When your club starts getting its first shootings, the first club shootings, the first like murders and stuff, oh my goodness. That is like, what do you call that? That's good publicity, right? So yeah, the downtown area started having like murders in clubs and bars and shootings. And my Adam was telling me a story about there's a group, he's walking down the street and there's a group of people blocked a sidewalk. And they were like just like, and he tried to walk around them, and he like in around the bike lane because he's just walking down the street. And he saw us, and the way he describes it, he says it was an Indian, like a Hindu lady. We have to be careful about Native Americans and using the term Indian, because Indians taken on a very perceptual conception in recent years. Before you just heard Indians. So Native Americans, we're not going to use the term Native Americans for what he's describing. But she's on the phone, or she sees her on her cell phone, and then he turned and he looks, and there's a yellow cab, and it swerved. He said it swerved into the divide and ran. He like went over the hood and everything. Oh man. Yeah, he said this, they were trying to kill him. And so when he gets, so fast forward to September 12th of 2016, when he is taken to ICU with massive brain injuries, broken leg. I guess because he's homeless, that was a more prosperous person could take his place. I really think that Adam's ID card is being used by a documented foreigner. How many? That's the funniest thing about our civilization now. We have real ID. Did you get your real ID, your real US ID? I looked at the requirements. It just requires a birth certificate, another form of like, is your name on it? Oh, okay, here's your official. Now nobody else can have it. I had my birth certificate stolen in break-ins. My military record stolen. Uniform stolen? Yeah. See, when you're locked down overseas, it's kind of hard to maintain your possessions. You just trust Century Storage. So yeah, when I was in Utah, I tried to get an ID. They had real Utah ID. Oh, I couldn't get one. It was locked up. Somebody else already had my real Utah ID. Maybe because I got a California driver's license, became a resident of California. It's a confusion about how our citizenship works. Really, you're a citizen of the state you're born in with like the Constitution acknowledging your rights in other states. We just have this thing of communication now. But yeah, states used to go to war apparently. That was a big thing. That the colonies themselves we have this thing in the British about the Revolutionary War against the British. Where does that take place? Boston, Pennsylvania? All up and down there are other colonies. Well, I have a book about how the British used to go down to Florida and burn Spanish forts. Oh, the French-British wars in the interior? So I watched two things yesterday on Prime. I'm not going to tell you the first one. I almost didn't watch it because I saw season 1, but it's only like one half-hour episode. It was just a funny little thing. It was a funny little thing with Gus Swayze. Guess Swayze. It was cute. It was cute. And I was like, oh, I felt relieved after watching that. And after that, I watched another one, because these seasons, if it says seasons, I'm like intimidated. If it's a movie, well, I don't really want to. Oh my goodness. So it was Tom Green. And Tom Green's one of these. Oh, I mixed him up with Chris Elliott. Oh, I totally thought I was thinking of Paperboy with Chris Elliott. Yeah, Tom Green's one of these MTV dudes. He has that. But now that I'm old, I have more fond memories of him. Some of the characters, you criticize the characters, and like, this is stupid. He had that rapper turn, and he's one of those dudes. And so much fun. And he got this place out in Canada. It's like his farm life. It's a documentary season on Tom Green's farm life, returning back to his home where he grew up in Canada, and all the people around him. Oh my goodness, he's. Yeah, it was Tom Green or Chris Elliott on Schitt's Creek. See, I had the. Oh, I didn't put it in the title. Good. But we have talked about Schitt's Creek. Is that Chris Elliott or Tom Green? I think it's Chris Elliott. He played these forever children boys. They just can't handle. They can't make their own decisions. And I watched Waiting for Gumpman. Come to think of it, there's a mockumentary that has the dude who's been other the mockumentary type best in show. They get popular, but I guess I don't know how much money do these actors have to live off of after making these art projects that. So that takes place Waiting for Gumpman, and you have actors. Oh my goodness, the actual number of people who are actors and extras who've been in movies, who've been in TV shows, but aren't really famous, but they're working actors and so they'll take gigs when they can get them, but just then they disappear into life. And, maybe they don't like to, maybe they just, does anybody ask, do they like to talk about their acting career? I don't know. Are acting careers top secret? Well, see, I have to mind I have to kind of like how many wanted Rambos are out here? Oh, remember Rambo's an American veteran. See, this is where I can only speak to my own demographic age group who has some similar experiences in life. A lot of people haven't watched the Rocky series or the Rambo franchises. And when Rambo was out, I was probably I had been in the military, too young to really understand. How many of them? I guess a lot of those. I suppose that a lot of those wandering homeless veterans, they just weren't like the kind of trained killers that Rambo were. There's a lot of things. Depression. They said there's no work here. I guess when a lot of men hit the road, when you have so many unemployed men, well, the factories are closed. Back and forth, I went to stopped by briefly at a protest event. The usuals, they had Black Lives Matter, the LGBTQ something flag, and dump Trump, and just I have some quotes from it. He's destroying the system. He's breaking things. Like, could you give me like? I agree. I agree. If you just let it rot on the vine, or if he doesn't go get those farm workers to get the food, so we have a surplus and can sell at affordable prices. Yeah, I agree. If he's not out there picking those oranges, if him and Mike Lee ain't, well, Mike Lee has. See, Mike Lee of Utah has what 300,000 visas. I've seen the numbers he wants. Yeah, he is. Mike, you better go pick those oranges. See, they're all just pointing fingers at each other in the government. So, where are these oranges? Where are your 300,000 visa people, Mike? And Mike's like, oh, you racist! I am not visa holder. I am not stolen identity of Mike Lee. There he goes again. Well, I sit there I go to the Asian food place. Well, the Asian and Mexican. I guess this is the thing with our ethnic restaurants. So as you put that title, it's not stir fry. It's not stir fried chicken and rice and stuff. It's the curries and stuff are regional, I suppose. So it's like the curry. So the Thai gets associated with curry. There are other people who have curry, but this is a specific kind. Special egg rolls, not Chinese egg roll, Thai egg rolls. So everybody in there is Thai and barely speaks English. And I have flashbacks from before I left for the contracting. I remember there was a young man who couldn't be deployed because he didn't speak any English. And then I have another flashback to high school when I think this dude did speak English. Well, there's a certain type of people who, if you go to an ethnic restaurant and it's not served by the authentic ethnic person, they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't a real Chinese restaurant. You're not really. What do you speak English for?" Yeah, it's like there's some people that food's better if they come out and they're like, "Oh, hello, you like orange chicken today? Oh, yes, Ming. Yes, I love orange chicken. I love Chinese. Oh my goodness, you Chinese people." Oh, you're so much more enlightened than Cretans in England or London, all these colonies. Oh, I love Chinese food and Chinese people like you. Oh, very good, Mike. Yes, we appreciate you too, Mike. Thank you for visa. I heard a person complain me on a sushi restaurant. When I got here, the restaurants are now like kind of the central hub for the main section of tourism. Yeah, one of them used to be called like the Purple Plum, and another one was like the Hungry Joe's, and they were what you would call diners. Diners full of greasy food and eggs. Purple Plum maybe had been something different. Oh, we have so many redevelopment opportunities. That's why I wonder. I wonder if the people like opened businesses during lockdown. Oh yeah, they did. For the entire life of the United States that I can remember my dad bitching was that the government programs would just give people businesses. They would like move people in, give them and like here's business loans and business grants and business this, and that's what we have to compete. That's what we had to compete with. And yet, at the evolution of life, David Rockefeller said competition's a sin. Well, I can tell you, when brothers go to war, see that's a sad thing because I'm not at war with my brother, and yet one of them is crippled, and we kind of what do you do? What do you do? "58 minutes. Collapse in Civil War. A lot of people depend on government paychecks. I wonder how many Republicans rely on government paychecks. See, Republicans, Democrats, there's a new thing, that spirit of bipartisanship with people with different party affiliations. See, I guess once you affiliate with the party, it is the party leadership. You do not disobey the party leadership. left wing, right wing. Now, of course, depending on your angle, whatever hand that is. But yeah, they have platforms, and their party members will vote for who and what they're told to vote for. Now, put your signature on the bill, say you wrote it. People will probably kill you for it. I'm just kidding, they'd kill me for it. Oh, they are. Oh, yes, they are. Yeah, this bill's been signed. Oh, that's wait. Is that a say PDF signature? Is that the freaking just? Are you just copy pasting like freaking the signature things from the PDF files? Man, I really did enjoy being back in Salt Lake City. Probably because college was probably those 4 years of college is when like in my personal life I had the most hope of a better future. Well, I'm going to say my childhood was looking back on it, being around other people. It was really quite sweet for the neighborhood I grew up in. It takes a while to develop empathy for other people's plights. Oh, here's my favorite story. This is a Secret Salt Lake, little turf for tourists who like the oddities of life. Porter Rockwell's grave. Where is the destroying angel of Mormondom buried? Porter Rockwell once said, "I never killed anyone who didn't need killing." A towering figure in the early history of the Mormon Church, Rockwell was the loyal bodyguard of LDS Church founder Joseph Smith and his successor, Brigham Young. Rockwell was the bloody hand of the early church, famously implicated in the assassination attempt of Missouri Governor Lilburn Boggs. Boggs was despised by early church members for signing what became known as the Extermination Order that called for evicting Mormons from Missouri by violent and deadly means. When investigators questioned Smith as to these accusations and Rockwell's involvement, Smith denied that it could have been Rockwell. When asked how he could be so confident, Smith replied, "He's Boggs. He's still alive, isn't he?" A member of the Danites, a vigilante group mentioned in Arthur Conan Doyle's first Sherlock Holmes novel, A Study in Scarlet. Oh, page 70. Porter Rockwell was widely known as the church's enforcer in The Destroying Angel. His stated policy was, always shoot first. That way they know you're armed. And he killed more outlaws than Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Tom Horn, and Bat Masterson combined. He was charged with murder or attempted murder 3 times, but never convicted. Told by Smith that if he never cut his hair, no bullet or blade can harm thee. Rockwell obeyed, like Samson of the Bible. The most famous picture of him is from a wanted poster. He's bald on top, but his hair flows down over his shoulders and his gimlet eyes seem to follow you. In the end, Rockwell died of natural causes awaiting trial for murder. He is buried in the city cemetery in Salt Lake City. Rockwell's epitaph reads, He was brave and loyal to his faith, true to the prophet Joseph Smith. A promise made him by the prophet. Through obedience, it was fulfilled. Ugh. Oh, my goodness. Where could I have put these? This is how lazy I am. Just stand up and look around for. Oh, there it is. Get a new hiding place soon. Stash these like in time vaults. Time capsules. So I had a companion, a coworker. We went to a little training, a refresher school with, and later on I heard that he was fired because he drove from police, like Jordanian police, His excuse was he was afraid of like insider threats or stuff. And that's happened a few times. We have so much other news now, reporting like homicides of in the military. It's not so important anymore. Still, I suppose that's the thing that the military people, and it's a good thing I'm not on active duty anymore. That's where the collapse in Civil War comes through. Mayhew's camera. Oh my goodness. I thought these were all murals. I was going to do a slideshow here. Let me see how it works. I like that little feature on the OBS for slideshows. I can't get it to do an entire album. Let me see if we can get this one up. Wow, it's really slow loading these pictures. The image slideshow. Okay. So where is the? Oh, here. Okay, good. Can I drag? No, I can't drag that way. Add file. Oh, Mayhew. Mayhew was a guy I worked with in 2008. His civilian job was a parole officer. And boy, oh boy, the younger guys in our little mission, they just constantly. I don't want to give too many personal details away, but there was a suicide in the group before us, and so our Master Chief added. It was a little resentful to have to turn our weapons in every day and check them out every day. Other people used to be able to keep them in their locker, but because of situations that he was aware of, obviously, person with 35 years of experience in the job, which you have one, probably knows more. So he gave me, we traded pictures and stuff. We only took pictures where they told us, yeah, you can take pictures here. Oh, it not maintains smooth. It's not receiving a video. I wonder if it had anything to do with this, with my this is where we are. Okay. Oh, it did overlay on top of mine. There we go. That way I can go to the bathroom and you can enjoy the show. Yeah, this poor guy. Oh yeah, we had several law enforcement officers. Yeah, law enforcement officers and military service seem like related. I'm going to slow this down. How do I slow this down? Okay, automatic fade. Between slides, transitions. Let me make this like 5,000. So 5 seconds. That can be longer. HHC Warhorse. Oh. Just look at the... Captain Mitchell J. First Sergeant McCoy H. Fort Bragg, North Carolina. A few years later, I'd be like hanging out there. We'll get 10 seconds. Oh. And this is just a handful of them. I'm getting error on my YouTube dashboard. YouTube is not receiving a video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Open widget. Oh, widget. Draw frames. Yeah, I'm yet on my OBS. It shows me perfectly. Huh. These are excellent numbers on my OBS side. Yeah. I remember the first time I sat down at a table. It was like a group of soldiers, and they're all talking to each other in Spanish. And I was like the only non-Spanish speaker in the group. It was like, well, you know, we have different people in the military now. And some people who, well, we have excellent benefits. I really haven't experienced the excellent benefits. And I wonder if any of these other guys have experienced the benefits, such as Senior Chief Westfield. Remember Senior Chief Westfield? For 8 months without having any casualty injuries. And on the very last day of their mission, one that actually they weren't supposed to do. That was supposed to be the incoming unit's job. No, last day, all these guys getting ready to go home and see your family, and boom. Instead of going home to a welcome home party, they went to a hospital. How bad were the injuries? Well. Yeah, like I said, there are some veterans, there are some old dudes rolling around in wheelchairs. In Obama's administration, they did say they were going to take away citizenship and veterans benefits from people who opposed them. Because the only reason you'd oppose them is if you were just... There you go, bathroom. Keep this on for a while. And then we have more. Oh, and then afterwards I might show my own. See, in a base in the Kirkuk area, They had a wall. The soldiers made their own memorial wall. It was like 4,000 names on it. Because at the time, that was how many people were killed in roadside bombs and IDF. probably. I'll probably walk by my church. Maybe the pastor didn't respond to my text the other day. So maybe this stream is healthy. Okay, I checked on my phone, so I just get ultra paranoid these days. Been back in the country for about almost 4 years. Yeah, it's gonna be almost 4 years. That's enough time to go to college and get a degree. Wow, 4 years. Well, when you have a brother who goes around with other people calling him his brother, man, this is my brother, man. He's more brother than me, my blood brothers, man. This guy more blood than me. He's more of a brother. That guy's not my brother. This is my brother. I had a meeting, several meetings, with people who claim to be Department of Homeland Security. That's the greatest thing about undercover Homeland Security people. Man, I'm with Homeland Security. You're stolen valor. No matter how many times, they still stolen valor. Stolen valor. You know where that comes from? I don't really have heroic war, exciting war stories. So it's not that kind of valor. I'm not claiming to be a special forces jumping out of helicopters and doing all combat and stuff. I'm not claiming that. I'm just claiming that, hey man, I'm a uniformed person. But there are people, apparently, who do tell stories. They go to bars and they make up entire stories. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the... Wow. May 12th, 2009. I had gotten off of a deployment and I took some of the savings I had and I went to Peru. Went backpacking Peru after my customs deployment. Oh, what's this? August 13th, 2015. Oh yeah, that's when this is a very good camera roll. Oh, this one has as the day I was over was it the sheriff's department? I think it was the sheriff's, not police. Anyway, so I was sitting at a restaurant reminiscing about our first family dinner together after moving in. And then a few months later, I had people accosting me, taking pictures of me with their cell phone cameras, calling me pedophile and everything. That was wonderful. That was wonderful, Mountain Mikes. Yeah, that's the way the kids are doing their research. They're approaching dudes and just taking pictures and get them to millions of people who are true believers. Bubbles. Hold on, maybe I'll pull this up. Maybe I won't. Yeah, it's my first employment, my first active duty deployment. We had a meeting. They said that while we're deployed, there are people in the United States who are sympathetic to who are opposed to our mission, and they're going to go contact our family. They said it. They said they would go after our families, our kids. Well, an army of kids killing their own dads for the new people. And again, reading. Well, that's why reading the Bible is very helpful. A lot of us are really embarrassed of our past proclivities. Some people I worked with, oh my goodness. It's fun time some places. Yeah, I don't know where my hard drive, my file folder is with the pictures I was looking for of the wall. Possibly. No. It's I wonder if I have another folder. New manuals. Oh. Give me for just clicking around. Oh. Oh, here it is. That way I can get a new slideshow up and That's a lot of pictures. Okay. It's weird. I mean, that's not that weird. Just as I click these off, and then we're going to add some new ones. Okay, where was this one located? Now I can go back here. I wonder if they'll be in order. 84, 85, 86, 87, 93, 9. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, where's my image show? Why aren't the images showing? Okay, there we go. Remember the Fallen. OIF 2003, 2010. Yeah, there's out there filling the names in. I'll speed it up a bit, I suppose. Top 7, walls painted by. Is it on play? It says 1 of 25. Have to manually click on. Oh, the light. See, I can zoom in on my side screen here. Specialist Paulie Anderson, Major David L. Audu, Captain Marcus R. Alford, PFC Charlie C. Antonio, SP Specialist, I suppose, Lakecia M. Bailey, Sergeant Aaron M. Arthur, PFG Adriana Alvarez, SPC Bushon X. Anderson, SPC Adrian L. Avila. I'm reading the bottom ones. I guess those ones came in after the... See, people continued to have tragedies. Remember what year was it? They had the government shut down. They closed access to public to national parks, and there was apparently the Vietnam Memorial Wall was considered one of those things. There were a lot of guys who would fly out to Washington to look at the war memorials. Vietnam was much bigger in the national conscience than this one. See, we have what? I think we have something like 4,400 names on combined 4,000 names. I'll go with the low number. Supposedly 4,000 names. They had 50,000 on their wall. Yeah, this is from Abad Bargona. I don't know why the slideshow isn't self-transitioning. Did I accidentally set the time delay too high? 15,000 milliseconds it should have been. I'm gonna go take it back to 100. Now we'll do 5 seconds. You can always screenshot one of these things. Bowman. Oh, there's one with Bowman. There you go. Bowman. Bowman's the name of a yeoman that I worked for briefly. It was nice. He was very happy. I guess they were understaffed then also. Oh my goodness. My side screen, I have the Bowman up still. I can't make it up. The sun glares really high up there. Play around with this. It's okay, that's not my YN1 Bowman or YN Chief Bowman. Kelsey. Roberta Cruz. Kemple Lee. Oh, PFC Sam W. Huff. I'm taking my time on the side screen here. Just checking for names I might be familiar with. A couple Johnsons. Sergeant Courtney Johnson. Sergeant David W. Johnson. A lot of Johnsons. Oh, my mother's maiden name is Kurt E. Jordan Jr. Sergeant Jason D. Jordan. See, let me check my title, see if I've done everything, touched on the topics. Father's Day, happy Father's Day. It's gotten sadder over the years. When I first started reading that Father's Day, and I was really triggered by it. They said they were getting rid of it in public schools. It was upsetting. They had so many kids. They said, "What about the kids who don't have a dad? Doesn't that hurt their feelings?" And I was like, I didn't really think about it too much then. Well, by some accounts, I might have like 9 neglected children. See, these are all young people. If you notice the titles of them, and you're familiar with Navy or military, these aren't not. I don't see a whole lot of Navy ranks on here for obvious reasons. Uh, but yeah, these are generally people below 30 and idealists. See, the thought on these young soldiers that there are people embedded among them who have more freedom to do things like fly to the fun places, fly to places like Dubai, where the oil money is, and other people, financial dealers, and get coke and hookers. Well, there are other places that are. Dubai's pretty law abiding. And they have their own ways of doing things. Like, they aren't technically hookers, they're just 30-day marriage contracts. Specialist, sergeant. I think a specialist is like, but usually they've been in for a year or two. Gonna have an entire life ahead of you, kid. Private first class. AMN. Is that a Air Force type of thing? Corporals, captains. Now, captain, when you see it associated with the army, they're our equivalent of lieutenant. It's like they're young. Captains in the Navy are old, for the most part. Well, old compared to these people. I'm still looking at Private First Class Sam W. Huff. It could be one of my cousins, my mom's older sister. We don't keep in touch much anymore on the account of the pain of killing each other in war. Friendly fire happens. And then there can be so much friendly firing and accidents that one really wonders what's going on and orders. I don't think the United States military is in any active engagements, right? interesting things where you get called a conspiracy theory. I mean, I get called a conspiracy theorist. I was like, I wonder, because the people who lose their children, who've lost their children, loved ones in one of these things. It's a name on the wall. They're never expecting to see their kid again. But could this ID be taken and used in life by somebody who never intends to see their family? Private First Class Michael R. Jarrett. Staff Sergeant Richard J. Jordan. Well, if you have a big enough system and access to US ID, it's either dead in your hearts, dead in your lives. But it'd be interesting where their benefits are going. But you can't imagine a group of people that conniving that they would research your life until they could pass for you to random people, know enough of your biography, know enough about you. Well, just move to a new state. You don't get along with your family. Who introduces their friends to their family anyway? Friends. Happy birthday, Adam. Man, what's really interesting is when he was in this accident, it was so traumatic, and his expectation of survival, it was, well, I referred to him as my brother died. Like, I didn't want to talk about it and stuff, because it was just every day we would just call in and see how his status was. And one day I was like, my brother, died, he committed suicide. It's just the expected thing that he just walked in front of traffic. It was too hard for him. This guy didn't get any scholarships. He got spit on in school, boys shoved in lockers. He just had genius IQ in a school full of well, I don't know if I should refer to them as humans. He'd be robbed at work. He's one of the best salesmen. The stories, this guy said that the yellow cab, he says they targeted him. You don't think there's somebody out there living Black Adam's life for him? He was a movie star. He was a movie star. Maybe not a famous movie star, but his personality, his looks, his charms, he could have been a movie star, like a real famous movie star. Instead, this is the lead actor in 2004 Deranged by Andrew March. Well, I guess it's Drew Mars now. But there's our actor. There's what Drew Mars is driving all over the place to account for. No, he wasn't in the military. He tried. He had flat feet, so that type of work wasn't an option for him. Instead, he worked at fast food places and malls. And you might have noted, you might have got creeped him out because he was 25, smoking pot and flirting with teenage girls at the mall. A monster, you know. What kind of monster that hangs out at the mall around kids anyway, frying food and just working, trying to survive with feet that hurt. With school counselors that well, he was too privileged. Ain't nobody ever helped out. They'll say they did. They'll say they did. But then again, maybe they didn't know the source of his true pain. See, in order for a new person to have a house, somebody else has to lose theirs. Yeah, I hang around politicians. They have a catchphrase. Somebody needs to do something. It's like, wait, well, how many promises did you make? Yeah, you made promises, and you're not doing them. You're waiting for somebody else to do your promises. Well, I'm going to end the show and go on a quest for food. See if they're actually having services today. The way they talked last week. I mean, the information on the Father's Day boat trip. All right. So I will bid you adieu. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Excellent.